Welcome back. Newly married, they do. COVID coming to Nigeria, lockdown happened. And I'm still in that mental fix where I don't understand what's going on with me mentally. Nothing was exciting me part time. I was just keeping myself busy with the business, keeping myself busy with social media. Before I did my court wedding, I quit my job eventually. Yes, I did. Because I felt that was maybe what I needed to do to get back on track with myself mentally. Like I said, because of the stress that was happening. So I quit my job, and also I just thought, okay, I'm starting a new chapter in life. Let me just start afresh. And also, let me just take some months off to focus on the wedding ceremonies, my business, and then afterwards, I will start hunting for a new job. Also, the job I was doing was more of a contract job based on the project timeline, so it wasn't something that was a permanent role anyway. So that also gave me the leverage to say, okay, I'll find something better when I'm ready. So COVID happened, we entered lockdown, and this is me, newly married, trying to understand. Okay, so now this marriage be okay. What's different between marriage and relationship? I was just mentally navigating through the change, dealing with lockdown as a newly married couple, which wasn't so much of a bad thing, to be honest. I think we kind of had a good time with lockdown. We got to know each other better and just roll through the motions. Then by the time lockdown was rounding up, I opened my business. So I had the goal plan that okay, now I don't have a day job. Now it's time to focus on this business and grow it. I started the business, and luckily my business gained traction before lockdown ended because I was able to send cakes out to buy. So people were really interested in buying the cakes, and it grew the business tremendously. And people started knowing DC they don't cakes. So yeah, once lockdown was lifted, we had to move to our own house by now and start life properly as a new married couple. Everything was happening in different areas that I wasn't happy about. I wasn't seeing how solutions were being provided, not only providing it, but providing it swiftly and adequately. So that was always causing a bit of challenge between us, and little bit of fight here and there, little bit of fight here and there. But always something that we couldn't navigate. And I mean, when push comes to shove, I'll probably just, do what I have to do as the wife, right? But internally, I wasn't happy with what I was experiencing already. Already, by the time we moved out to our own house, I started seeing those things that weren't making me happy, right? And I just had to condition my mind to think, girl, you have expectations, but don't let your happiness, don't let your mental state be dependent on what is going on around you, but look inwards to find that source, to find that joy. It was a struggle for me because, like I said, I was in denial of the depression. I thought about it, but I just said, why would I be depressed? It just doesn't feel like it. But I was literally clinically depressed because afterwards, we could diagnose this with my therapist years later. So I was also like dealing with that, dealing with the growth of the business, trying to hire staff, and also dealing with a marriage that I'm still trying to navigate and understand if this is how it's supposed to be. But at the back of my head, I also just kept in mind that okay, people say the first year of a marriage is the most difficult. So, babe, wear your big girl pants, go through it, fix what needs to be fixed, and be grateful for what is good. So a year later, which was now 2021, there was a major event that happened, and it broke me to my core. I can tell you for a fact that I died on that day. And I realized that in life, we're going to have three phases of our lives: the one where you're very innocent, the one where life actually knocks you down, and the one where you became a new person when you push back on that experience and become a better person or a worse person, whichever one it is. So there are always going to be three phases of life, right? And for me, at that moment, that was the time all my innocence, all my naivety actually died. It broke me as a person. It broke me to my core. I can tell you for a fact. So today it is the worst day of my life, and that was 2021 April, Easter Sunday, to be very specific. So 1 year into marriage, that happened. I was broken to my core. I didn't know how to navigate it. It was tears today, tears tomorrow. And guess what? I still had to show up for my business. I'd cried my eyes out without sleep, and I still had to go to work and show up for my customers. That was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, because I just wanted to be in bed, sing to whatever I could sing to, and cry my day out. But I had to show up at work. And I had a couple of friends around me too at that time who helped me to navigate those difficult days, and I'm thankful for them. So thank you guys. Then at this time, when everybody was trying to fix the marriage, personally, I felt like I was actually done, because, like I said, it broke me to my core. So I felt like this was my get out, right? But on the other side of things was me also telling myself that, okay, maybe this is where patience is tested, and this is where they say a wife has to be patient for her husband, submit, whatever, hold the family, hold this up. That one is people's problem. But at that point in time, I just felt, okay, let's see, let me hear what everybody's saying, let me listen to them, so that it's not be as if, again, I am stubborn. So I had to condition myself to think, okay, don't let me be too stubborn to the point where I'm not listening to the other people, and just give them their own grace and respect that, okay, they're trying to mend us, right? So they did try, and I put certain conditions down in terms of counseling. Let's get to counseling, let's talk to people, let's do this. So we're doing that. I was working towards it, but this is me as a broken person at this point. I was just struggling, and I think that was probably the first time that I prayed to God deeply for like 5 hours, because I needed to forgive before I moved on to say, let's now work on it. So I think that was when God started coming back in depth, like that. I felt my spirit was now getting back with God internally, right? So this is not supposed to be sad, right? I'm just trying to narrate my life. Honestly, please don't be sad about this. I don't want to pass across any sad notion, any angry notion. I'm not going into like core details of everything, but I'm just giving you like timeline and how mindset shifted. So we did counseling. Some months later, what happened the first time happened again, and at this point I was like, hasta la vista, deuces, bro, I'm out of this marriage. And I took the right actions to get out. But again, after 2 months, family intervened, told me, go back to your husband's house, go back. Okay, make it not be like, say, I don't get patience again, Abby, and I'm stubborn. I said, okay, no problem. Well, you guys, this will be the last time you tell me to mend this marriage, because I cannot, for the life of me, be the only one trying to let this work while the other person destroys it. And that is the lesson I actually want you to get from me telling this story, is that it takes two, whatever it is you do, even in relationships before marriage, it takes two. In fact, any kind of relationship, it takes two people that have decided they want to come together to do friendship, to do relationship, to actually make it work. Every day we have to give our best. Every day we have to give our best. Whatever percentage that best is, we have to give our best. And if the other person can hold the other person up, yeah, that's fine. But then you cannot pull the other person down. You cannot be on a negative and you expect the other person to come and join you on a negative. It's not going to work. Like, really, it's not going to work. You cannot exhaust the other person. You cannot drain the other person and expect that what you are building will be a productive one. It won't be. So that was my case. One person is doing, let's make it work. The other person is doing, I'll be selfish and do whatever it is I wanted to do. So you can already tell that we're on different spectrums of what we wanted that marriage to be like. So again, we mended. And I told my family, I told his family, and I said this will be the last time that we're going to get people involved in our fight, in our situation, because one, we're too young for all of this, and we need to figure it out ourselves and build the foundation that we want to build the family on ourselves, not with outsiders. By the time the second one happened, we now started getting like structure back. Mind you, I've still not fixed what's going on with my mental health, and everything happening around me was compounding it. Different things happened in between. That will be a story for another day. And by the time we were trying again, this is now this marriage 3.0, it looked really productive. Yeah, it started getting better. And I was like, okay, maybe I was patient for the right reasons. Thank God, everything's looking well. Everything's looking okay. Then again, certain things were happening that were towards, positive building. I don't want to share the details yet. And yeah, along the way, I now fell sick. And then falling sick meant a lot of things were just happening. I was sick for a long time, like 3 months sickness, finding solutions to what was making me sick, trying to get hold of doctor here, doctor there, hospital there, hospital there. This also added to my mental stress. This is now 2021, December. Now on to 2022, January, February, up until when I eventually had to have a surgery for what was making me sick. And then after the surgery, I was just tired. Like, I was tired. Because even though it felt like the marriage was in another space, it wasn't exactly a positive space. It was more like, once again, what the relationship was like, which was going with the flow of things, right? And then compounded with what I was going through with my health, and then the mental fatigue that I was also experiencing. And also I now had staff with me managing the business, managing the growth. It felt too much for me, and it was a load I couldn't carry. So I remember one day in March of 2022, I broke down. Like, I finally got to that breaking point in my life in 2022 of March, where I was like, you know what, I am done. I'm tired. Not with the marriage or whatever, with myself. I was tired. I was knocked out. And I remember that day very well. I think that was when I now realized that, wait, I think I have a lot of trauma to deal with. And I started realizing that I had resentment towards certain people, and even the person I was living with, I had resentment towards him because of the previous year where I felt like I died and I lost everything that I knew as a young lady and everything I've taught myself as a young lady. I felt like I lost it the previous year. So I felt resentment towards the person that, betrayed me and all that, right? After the breakdown in March, by this time, I just felt out of place with everything happening, business, marriage, friendships, everything. I felt so out of place. And by April, certain things were now being revealed to me that I was quiet about. And finally, I challenged it, and the challenge got to a big blow that, till today, I can't even imagine that happened. And that was the day I knew that I was done with that marriage. Yeah, that was the day I knew I was done with that marriage, because I had the meltdown, more things were being revealed to me, and I started feeling like I'm literally carrying a dead weight at this point. And not only is it dead weight, it's making me dead inside. Like, it's like a rotten apple beside another good apple, and eventually it's going to rot the good apple. So I felt it. I felt like I was exhausted. I felt like I was carrying too much. And I remember that day very well, and I said, I'm at the end of my rope. There's nothing more I have to give you. There's nothing more I have to give myself. There's nothing more I have to give to this. However, that was even the last day in the marriage. But for me, that was my last time of saying I was somebody's wife. Even though I did not make it official to him yet, or to anybody yet. But internally, I knew I was actually done. And this was April of 2022. And unfortunately, it was as if God was just telling me, be patient. You will find more reasons to say you've made the right decision. And also at this time, I wanted it to be a conversation that we're going to have to finally say, okay, this is not working. There's no need pulling each other in different directions if it's not working. Things were revealed to me, and a few days to my birthday, the biggest one, that I know that there's no way in heaven and earth that I'm going to overlook this and say I'm still going to this marriage. I said, Dumola, marriage is not a do or die. Yes, you are very scared of being a divorcee, you're very scared of failing at marriage, but we're all going to experience failures in different areas of our lives. So I told myself, if this is not working, you have to drop it. Drop it. Stop forcing it when you know it's killing you inside. When you know you have nothing else to give. When you know that there's no way it's going to work out and it will be beautiful. All you are going to do again is just count the time. You're just counting 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years anniversary, taking pictures, having kids on a faulty foundation. You're building on water, babe. So I realized I was building on water. This wasn't a solid rock. This wasn't God. This wasn't a threefold God. It was dead on arrival. It was dead on arrival. And by the final day, I realized that, I don't know this man. I don't know the F I married. Abby, that's the TikTok title. I don't know who this man is. And I accepted it. That, this was a failed on arrival. So I left. I left. Unannounced. I left. And after a couple of days, I finished my 30th birthday photo shoot. And I called my family. I told them. I called his family. Some of them did not pick up. And the person that picked up, I relayed the message. And seeing that the other people were not picking up my calls, I decided to pass information across through WhatsApp so that it's very clear that I made it known to everybody that was the end of it. So that happened a few days to my 30th birthday, and I pushed through my 30th birthday because I needed to, right? But then it comes the ghetto of house hunting in Lagos. That's a story for another day. So I'm going to end this part here, and we're now going to go very much into what started the healing journey. Thank you for hanging on with me till now. God bless you.